Good morning. Good morning, RT Beer. RT Beer here. Welcome to Hack Shack Studios. Almost 40-year comic book veteran working for Marvel, DC, on titles such as Superman, Adventures of, all the way up to the Death, and the Lois. Did the Lois and Clark wedding album. That was cool. And Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man for a few years. Fantastic Four. X-Men, I think I'm mainly known for X-Men. Did that for like on and off for about 15 years, I think. So I've done quite a bit of stuff. I wish I had a better run on Batman, because Batman's my favorite character. But sadly, I do not, and I will probably never get another shot at that character, which is fine. Where I'm at right now, I am having a lot more fun. Working on titles such as Black and White, Man vs. Machine, and Chrono Mechanics. Yes, Chrono Mechanics. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. You guys, buckle up, because I'm going to rant. I've been angry since Tuesday midday, when I got my numbers back for my investments. I was working. My sweet wife Pamela came up and showed me the numbers, and I was quite upset, and I'm still actually I'm not okay with it. And so I went to Twitter and I went to Facebook, mostly getting support. Very little pushback, which was pretty amazing. But I'll get into that in more detail. Also, I don't think I showed this page, and if I did, I've done some additions to the page, so it'll be new. It'll be new-ish if you haven't seen it, or if you have seen it. I mean, let's go to the chat. Let's see what we got going on here. I got to get my chops back, man. I haven't done one of these morning hullabaloos in a while. Arch Geek, hey Art, what's up? We got Leg Kick 1. What's up? Hail to the King. I've been listening to some Avenged Sevenfold. That song is pretty badass. Hail to the King. Hail. Past Master Dan was not the first in, but he was the third in this morning. So, but that's okay. That's okay, as long as he's here. Ahoy, and God bless you, young man. Yes, I am young. Don't let this gray hair fool you, because it's just an illusion. It's an illusion. I went prematurely gray in my when I was 15. No, I did not. I'm making all that up. Linkovich, how are you, my friend? Let's see. We got Joe Bernardo. Now we got a party, man. We got all the gang are here. Aloha to the master of art and ink, RT Beer. Thanks, Joe. Hope you are doing well. Wise Guys Entertainment. That is a great name, and I love the way it's spelled. Hell right back to you. Let's see what my arch nemesis Sheldon Martin has to say. Holy hullabaloos, Art Man. You're my Robin today. Sheldon Martin, a.k.a. Robin, the boy wonder. The chat wonder. Sheldon is the chat wonder. We got you. No biggie. We got Rockwood, the best name ever. Rock. He's got the word rock in his name and drawing. Artie Bear, what's up? Investments like stocks and bonds, cryptos, NFTs. No cryptos, no NFTs, although I have been tempted by the NFT thing. But I think maybe it's a good thing. I just don't have time to really devote to anything other than what I'm doing right now. Excuse me. But I think if I had extra time on my hands, I would be working on some other projects. I'd be trying to get some other books going and stuff like that. I don't really have any interest in crypto or NFTs. NFT seems like a quick cash grab, but I'm not sure actually how it works. Nothing is ever that easy, right? Things seem easy. Then you get involved, and then you realize this isn't too easy. The beam pad, hell art, hell chat. The gray hair is a lotion. Yeah, I actually I manufacture this. This is all from a bottle. Yes. Art is the youngest, maybe the youngest at heart of the CG Kings. No, but that's okay. That's okay. I have wisdom. Yeah, I don't think I really want to go back in time. The only thing I would like to do is like the 90s were very good. So I'd like to go back to the 90s for maybe a year or two and just, work my ass off and pad my portfolio because the numbers were quite good. The money was quite good in comics in the 90s. Art landed on Pennsylvania Avenue and had to pay up. The Monopoly game. I hated that game. Oh, man. I hated it. Hated it. We got Shadowhawk Talks and the chat. Yes. Oh, give that man a fish. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Demon Dog is coming up for some playtime. Mutants versus machines. No. Man versus machines. There's no mutants. I'm not getting into X-Men territory. Let's see. Praise God and Georgia. Guidestones are destroyed. I don't know what that means. I'm not a topical guy. I'm not a news guy. Not really. I don't keep up with things. Let's see. Wise Guy says, with stocks in Disney and Netflix dropping, do you think it's a good time to buy? Something tells me too big to fail, aka too many government lobbyists. I have been thinking a lot about this. I'll give you some backstory in a minute, but just to answer this, I have been thinking. I have to talk to my investment people and find out. But we did contact. Pamela contacted them when our stock went down, and like I said, I'll get into that. And they said just stay the course. The ebbs and flows. Things go down. You buy, and then they go back. You buy when they're low, and then they go back up, and you do well. The only thing, my predicament is that my wife and I are older, so I don't know if we have the time for the money to go back up. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it would be better just to pull the money out and have it be valued at what it is, or reinvest it in something that's lower risk or more stable, and in hopes that it doesn't go down anymore, because I don't even have any proof that it's not going to go down anymore. So I think let me see if there's any new faces in the. I'd like to say hi to everybody. What's up? I think Beam Pad, I've already said hi to. I think I said hi to everybody. Fairly caught up, but yeah. Okay, so the F Joe Biden is just my frustration and anger. And I want to back up just for a minute. And I tried to make this clear on my Facebook thread and on my Twitter thread that this isn't really political. So everybody knows, like, financially right now, percentages, what we paid last year are a lot higher than they are now. Like, just even a loaf of bread, milk, meat, everything is higher. Gas prices are doubled, what they were a year ago. Like, everything is going up. So, I think if the president came out and said, well, because of the lockdown, shortages, things like that, this was kind of foreseen, and we'll wait it out, and things will get better once manufacturing stuff catch up. But he never said that, because they don't want to take any blame for anything, because they're the ones that locked everything down. So they're the ones that locked everything down. So they're the ones who crippled the economy, but they're not going to even admit or acknowledge that they did such a thing. And so I don't think they're going to do that. But they did. The government as a whole contributed to where we're at now. And so if my stock prices went down and the economy was crippled right now and was hurting, and we were all paying way more money than all this stuff is worth, I wouldn't care who was president. I would still be pissed. I'd be pissed off at, I don't know, if Donald Trump had done it, if Joe Biden, it did do it, but Obama or Bush or whoever, if anybody had done this, I would still be pissed. I lost $72,000, almost $72,000 in 3 months. In 3 months' time, with my retirement and investments. Retirement, like I said, I'm not a young man, so I mean, how much more time do I have to wait for the economy to build back up, or for that set? Not only do I have to make that $72,000 back, but then I have to be able to make more on top of that. So I don't have another 10 years. I mean, how many more years do I have to? Oh my gosh, he's got a bottle. Hold on, I gotta grab that bottle from him. He's got a plastic bottle to his noise. Oh, he knows. He took off running. I'm gonna have to go downstairs. Hold on, you guys. I'm sorry. Where did you get that? Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. Wow. He always does this when I go live. So these things right here, I give them to him. Just he plays with them, he tears them apart. So he doesn't know not to do it right now. So, but it does make a lot of noise. The dog has a drinking problem. Yes, he does. But where were we? Yeah, so it wouldn't really matter who was president right now. I'd still be pissed off. I mean, I lost $72,000. I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. There was no reason for this. The lockdowns were unnecessary. I don't care what anybody thinks at this point in time. I mean, I'm angry. Lockdowns were unnecessary. We have the president talking about round 2 with COVID. Well, fuck you. Pardon my French. Not pardon my French. I'm probably going to drop a lot of F-bombs because this is the F-bomb stream. Dude, how much do you think people can take? They're paying more money for everything, and then their stocks and retirements are going down. Okay, let's just say I was 10 years older than I am. Let's just say I needed that money. You know what I mean? Like, I would have just lost $72,000 from my retirement. My whole way of life would change. I wouldn't. There's no, like, now maybe I have enough time to make it back. Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to my people. But the thing is, if I was older, there's no time. You did lose. Absolutely lost $72,000 if that was the case, if I was 10 years older or whatever. And that's a crime. It is completely unnecessary. And then, like, the gas prices, everything else that's going on, that dude needs to stop. He needs to go away. He's absolutely bad for everything. He's bad for our foreign affairs. He's bad for domestic. He's bad for the economy. He's bad for morale. He's bad for everything, man. That guy has no assets at all. He has no positive assets. So when I posted this around, I made sure that that people knew that it wouldn't matter who was the president. I'd still be pissed off. I'd still be pissed. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not really like a rebel rouser, but I'm gonna be more and more that way. My wife and I were talking, like, if Joe Biden does decide that he's going to bring on COVID-2, Electric Boogaloo, and he's going to bring that back so him and his cronies can make some more money, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, and Moderna. I heard that the rich almost doubled their valued amount during the COVID lockdown. This is by design, you guys. This is all by design. I'm convinced of it. COVID is a sham. I don't care about the backlash anymore. And if he brings on COVID-2, I have absolutely no idea what I am going to do. I am going to rage with every ounce of energy I have because it's just it's complete bullshit. It's not even really entertaining to talk about, or like, oh, well, it's an interesting conspiracy theory or whatever. It's like, no, this is affecting people. This is affecting people's way of life. It's affecting their bottom line. It's affecting everything. Like my wife and I, when we moved to Texas a year ago, the cost of living here was so doable, right? Especially coming from California. So we felt like we were rich, right? So we were doing stuff for the first time in our lives. We weren't really questioning things. We were just going. We were going out, eating, just spending money, just living our lives without a bunch of guilt or worry about, spending money or anything like that. And so a year later now, all the prices, all the restaurants, everything has gone up. We're not doing anything. We're not fixing up the house. We're not going out as much as we used to. Nothing. We're not spending any money. So mission accomplished, man. So now businesses aren't going to get my money because my money is tighter. So now there's going to be even more of a ripple effect. This is just, it's not, I want to be nice. I don't want to just drop expletives, but this is just effed up. This is completely effed up. I think I was trying to get a hold on my anger and just being upset. And then I just finally got to this point. I don't know if you guys have ever got this, when you're so angry and then you're just like, I have a right to be angry. You get to that point where you're just like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to own it. I'm fucking angry. I'm pissed. $72,000? People, this is like income for a year. I made 108 in backers on black and white. A third of that's going into shipping. Another whatever is going to go into printing and all my vendors to pay for. I'm not even going to make 72 from that campaign. Like, how do you make that money back? You know what I mean? Basically, all that time that I spent on black and white and trying to build that thing up, it's a lateral move now. It paid me back what I lost in my stocks. How do you get ahead? How do you better your existence when you have buffoons calling the shots? Like, fuck that. Listen, man, you created the game, right? We're just playing, we're just, like somebody said, Monopoly earlier. We're just like pieces. We're just pawns on the playing board there, and you made the rules. So we're all trying to play by your rules and trying to make the best of it. And then you do something like this. You alter everything to the point where you're going to cripple everybody. You change the rules. People are losing money. The pandemic and the lockdown, enough, man. There were family businesses that went away. Oh my gosh, they just more. That's all they want. More. Like, and then you hear the president and the vice president saying, "Hey, man, we're all in this together. We're just going to have to suck it up." fuck you. You suck it up. You're not sucking it up. You guys are getting rich off this shit. This is all by design. When there are people, in these kind of situations that are doubling their net worth, it's just bullshit. Yeah, I had pants on, but barely. they're not the best looking. Oh man, we got Pablo Romero. Sorry, you guys. Like I said, it's just I'm just so fucking pissed. Wise Guys Entertainment. Somebody claims part of the rock structure supposed engraved with New Order plans to depopulate the planet. I heard that too. Like I also it's weird. Like we used to talk this way and it was just fun conspiracy. Now it's scary conspiracy because you talk like this and you're like, well, sometimes it's the only thing that makes sense. Like these things that seem like conspiracy. Like I heard that somebody was saying the jab, the cure for COVID supposedly, it actually can make you sick and die. And they were saying like possibly that this is going to be a form of getting rid of old people, so they don't have to pay out. I don't know what to believe. It's so weird that in this day and age, like these things actually seem viable or believable. Let me just read the whole thing. New World Order plans to depopulate the planet was bombed, so they went and I guess used Constitution vehicles to knock down the rest. I'm not sure what the rock structure. You're just talking about the structure of the world. I don't know what the rock structure is. Let's see. From our oil reserves, stopped oil production and drilling first day in office. Yeah, and you know what else? I heard the reason why we're not self-sufficient is because of global economy. It's a global economy now. So the thing is, the powers that be, which are not our powers with what we think are the powers within this country, our country is even becoming more and more just a puppet for the world powers. And so then you have the oil reserves. There's viable things we can do here in the States to be independent of these Middle East, these outside oil barons resources. We could be self-sufficient, but Biden and the people that are beholden to the one world government or this new world order, they don't want it. They want the global thing. So they want to cripple the economy. The way they're going to control the United States is they're going to cripple us. They're going to cripple us in many, many different ways. And that's how these globalists, these New World Order people, which I am convinced do exist, are going to do it. I mean, NAFTA, I think, was the first sign of this. Borders became just words. They didn't even mean anything anymore. What are the United States borders? I don't even know anymore. They're so open, and I don't mean just with immigration. I mean with trade, with all this stuff. Like there are very little sanctions. There's very little we'll take care of our own economy. We'll take care of our own country. Our needs come first. All that stuff. No, we outsource everything. We import everything. I was thinking about this. Okay, I know I'm very, very, when it comes to politics and all this stuff, I'm very simple. I'll admit I don't understand things on bigger levels. But I was thinking, okay, one, all these trillions of dollars of debt, right, that we owe to other countries. Why do we owe this money? What are we doing that's so over what we can do that we need to go into debt for? Like, why do we owe this money? Like, people are just going, we got to pay down the deficit. We got to pay down the deficit, right? Okay. But why do we owe it to begin with? Why are we living? Why are we spending? Why are we owing people money? Like, I heard we owe China. Like, if all these places that we owed money to decided to call in the loans, we would go belly up. And what do they leverage? What do they leverage as collateral? Like, if I want an investment or whatever, I have to put up some kind of collateral if I can't cover it, right? What did the United States put up for collateral to get these loans, to do all this stuff? Like, is the United States on the line? Like, does China get to claim the United States or part of it if we default on our loans? Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't. This stuff is absolutely crazy. It's asinine. Like, how did we get here? Like, just freaking stop. I remember my parents got in some credit card problems, right? And so I remember, I mean, it was tearing my mom and dad apart. And so my mom's trying to make ends meet. So she's using the credit, the cards a little bit more. And this is early on in credit card day where thanks for the question. They didn't really know exactly. There wasn't a lot of education about how to use credit cards and all this stuff, but there was still crazy interest, and it compounds. If it's 20%, 20% of 100 is $20. So every $100 purchase you're going to pay $20. You're going to pay $20 for every 100 to the credit card company. That is, I use credit cards. I pay them off every month because I will not be a slave to that shit. I use credit cards just out of convenience. I do not use them because I have to, because I need the credit because they don't have the money. And so my parents are fighting. And so my dad finally said, you know what? The only way we're going to get out from under this is we have to stop using it. And then my mom's like, well, I can't. This is how. And my dad just said, we have to. And he cut the cards up. He just mandated we're not going to use these things anymore. And it took years, but they did. They paid that slavery debt off, and they moved on. But I remember how hard it was for them to do that because they were so under it. You know what I mean? Like, it was such a unfair kind of pressure, always bearing down. And I never forgot that. And so I'm just thinking, how did this country get to that point? Like, that there's so much debt. Like, when the government says, oh, well, we're going to open this new faction of government, or we're going to send this much money to this state or this government or this problem or whatever. It's like, you don't have that money. You don't have it. How can you do it? How can you throw money at a problem with money you don't have? They don't have the money. They don't have it. Simply, they don't have it. So every day they're spending money that they just simply don't have. If we did it, we'd be behind bars. If we did it, the IRS would be, throwing our asses in jail. Like, the absolute arrogance and just zero accountability is staggering. They say white men privilege. No, you have privilege. How do you get to that point? You're spending money you don't even have. It doesn't even mean anything to you. It doesn't. And every time, like, I use slaves, that's like, I think debt is modern day slavery. And so every time you owe somebody something, you're indentured to them. You owe them that. That means that on some level, they get to control your life. They get to dictate certain terms to you. And fuck that. I don't owe anybody anything. And I haven't in a long time. In California, we owed on the house. But the only reason I didn't pay that debt off is because every month I paid less on that house in California than I could rent. I mean, it was like $500 a month, for a freaking huge ass house, in California. I just knew that it was doable to pay it. I had my tax deductions with it. And and I knew at any moment I could get out from under it. Like I could have paid it off. So today, I don't owe anybody anything. Everything's paid off. So I worked hard to get to this point. Why can't the government? It's just bullshit. And then every time there's a problem, oh well, the general public's going to have to suck it up. The president says, oh, you're just going to have to suck it up. It's going to get a little tough, Also, they're like, yeah, we gotta endure a little bit of discomfort for the new Green Deal. We're gonna save the environment. With what? Battery power? With electricity? Listen, man, people aren't stupid. It takes. How do you generate electricity? They have rolling blackouts in California. When I lived in California, there was rolling blackouts all the time, in the summertime. Like, what if you had to charge your cars? We had 2 cars, my daughter's car. There were 3 cars. What if you had to charge your cars, and then all of a sudden you have a power, these rolling blackouts? Well, guess what? Your car is stuck in the garage. You can't go to work. All of this stuff. It's just absolutely nonsense. It's nonsense. Save the environment. Oil drilling, oil exploration, these things, by today's standards, very little environmental impact. If there's an accident, yeah, it gets kind of crazy, but it's still like I don't know, these batteries, the raw ingredients for these batteries, like the environmental impact of that is outrageous. Also, these batteries don't break down, in landfills. Like, what the heck? Batteries aren't responsible either. It's a lateral move, and maybe even worse. Like these things that they're talking about doing. It's just crazy, and it's not worth the price that needs to be paid. Once you've done something that we can be completely not where we could be independent of oil, all these things, but plastics are all made out of oil products. Like, there's still always going to be a need for oil. You're still going to have to, you're not going to shut this stuff down. Oil is still going to be needed, period. You're not going to be able to eradicate it. All these plastic things, it's oil, man. Fucking just stop, please. Government, slow down. Just freaking slow down. Let people take a break. Joe Biden in a year has managed to do more damage than probably the last 3 presidents. Thank you so much, Sheldon. I do appreciate the super chat for $4.99. You're the best. When Carter was president, there was crazy things going on, like lines to get gas. What was it like living through that? To be honest, I mean, I do remember some of it. They had evens and odds, I think. It was even odds, like license plates. So if your license plate ended in an even number, you could only get gas on certain days. So like Wednesday was like even day. So all license plates with even numbers could go in and fill up their tank. Odd days would be like, I don't know, Tuesday. So you could go then fill up like that. And so I remember that. I wasn't driving at the time. I was still quite young. But I remember my parents lining up in gas lines, round the block for even odd day, and getting their gasoline. I was when I was a kid, I would mow lawns and stuff like that. So I had a bit of a business. So I had my my regulars that I would mow every week or every other week or whatever. And so I needed gasoline for the lawnmower and the edger. So when I was a kid, I would just walk out of the gas station with my tin gas can, and I would fill up my gas can for my lawnmower. And I remember that the local gas station attendant, he would let me get gas whenever I needed it. So it was just like maybe a gallon or whatever it was. And so, I would go there, I would pay my money, and then I would fill up my gas can, and then I'd walk home. And so that's really all I remember is the even odds. I remember waiting in line, and I remember the gas station guy letting me fill up my gas can. So thanks again for the super chat. Yeah, let's burn some more coal for the power plants. Let's see what Pedro says. I'm sorry, you guys. I've been ranting, and I have been ignoring you in the chat. One of the things I like about the morning Hullabaloos is being able to interact with you guys. So Pablo says, what seems to be happening in the U.S. is that they decided to do what we do here often, which is print money so you get inflation. Yeah, there's just so many things happening at one time. I don't think it's just inflation due to printing. I think there's several things happening at one time. Hey, we got sketch therapy in the chat here. The Democratic fiscal policy is basically Enron. Yeah, I think that the extreme progressive, there's a part of the Democratic Party that is kind of beholden to, I believe, kind of this one world government, this new paradigm or whatever, this new ruling class. And so this ruling class they're not regional. They're not like localized. They're not like, we're Americans and we made our fortune in America. We keep our money in America. They're globalists. So their money is everywhere. So they're involved with everything. So like I said, I think that NAFTA was the beginning of the end of this. So then I believe what rich people did is they changed the rules so they didn't just have to stay within the confines of their own country, that they could jump back and forth to different parts of the world. They could invest. It was back and forth. So to them, say if you were an American and you were taking part in this, so America isn't your only concern. It's just one part of your concern. But then there's China, then there's Europe, there's all of Asia, there's all these other places. So you have vested interest in all these things. So you don't really care about one place, because also you might live here, but you also live here, here, and here. So you're a globalist. You live all over the place. So your loyalty isn't just one area anymore. Your loyalties are everything. Your loyalty is just your bottom line, basically, at that point. So they don't recognize borders. They don't really care about it. Even if they were born in a certain country, they don't really have that kind of like pride or whatever. So to them, it's just the bottom line. It's just about making money. So then they can go everywhere. They can go anywhere and make their money. And so I think you see this over decades. You see it, and now you're starting. Well, you didn't see it. It was happening, but you didn't see it. But now I think you can actually see it. It's more clear cut. You can actually see what's happening now. And I believe that NAFTA was the beginning of the end, because I don't think that any of these people that are truly calling the shots for all these governments, like our government, I think there are still factions that are true to the people, true to the intent of our founding fathers, all that. I still do believe that those people exist in our government, but there's this faction, like we have these SJWs. There's these factions that are loud, that have a lot of power, but they're not the majority. And they're calling the shots. These people are calling the shots. And just think about this. If you were more of a globalist, you want everything just to be the same because it's easier for you. You want one currency. You want one way of doing business. You want to treat everybody the same. So what's happening is there's a homogenization to the world. So you have people in the United States saying, if we could be more like this country or that could, well, bullshit. Right or wrong, we're going to be America. You know what I mean? Like screw that. And so then you have this split loyalty that's happening. And so they just want, and if you think about it, like socialism is the best way to rule on high everything, because everything is the same. Everybody gets treated the same. And also, we don't want any individual to rise up. We don't want R.T. Bear to have $72,000 for his retirement. No, let's wound him. Let's make it harder for him to just eke out an existence. Like all the obstacles that are in our way constantly, it's amazing anybody does anything. If you ever want to know how the odds are stacked against you, there's a thing called what is it? It's a tax. If you make a certain amount of money, you get taxed more. It's like somebody in the chat help me. It's like if you pay more for a car, like above a certain amount, there's an extra tax, a luxury tax. It's called a luxury tax. There's a luxury tax. If you own a boat, it's a luxury tax. If you could afford a bigger diamond ring for your wife, luxury tax. A luxury tax because you happen to work harder than the average person, that you actually could afford something better, that the government says, oh, because you were exceptional, because you did this thing that's outside the norm, we're going to take more money from you. Really? Why aren't we fighting these fights? Why are we so obsessed with like color and race and gender and all this other bullshit? Like that doesn't fucking matter. LGBTQ, I don't give a shit. You don't matter. You don't fucking matter. In the meantime, your government is raping you. You want rights? The government came in and took your rights. They locked down your state. They locked down the world. Where were you fighting then? You didn't fight. You didn't say anything. You just put the masks on and sucked it up. It's like, no, these are real things, real problems, taxation, no representation. I was thinking about fucking Nancy Pelosi, right? She pisses me off. Okay. So you have Nancy Pelosi saying, she's at a press conference and she's saying right kinds of people. She's saying they don't share our values. She's saying stuff like this, like she is talking to like against one group of people, Republicans, and then she's talking about Democrats like those are her people. She's talking to two people. She's not talking to Americans. She's talking to Democrats and Republicans. She's putting a division right down the middle. This is a politician who makes her living based on our taxes. Our taxes. We're paying that bitch to cut the country in half. I say, if you really believe that, Nancy Pelosi, and you care that much about these are the right people, these are the right kinds of people, and that's who you're going to placate, well, then I want half my money back. If you're not going to represent me and my values and my take, then you're not going to give my fucking money. Give the American public half of what you make back because you don't represent them. Taxation without representation, You admitted with your own words you don't even acknowledge them. You would like them to go away. You would like to destroy them. What? You represent America as a whole. You don't represent a faction of America. You represent everybody. It's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. These people all need to go. They all need to go. They're destroying our way of life, and I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go quietly. Like I said, when I was out, my wife and I were talking, and we were just hanging out, enjoying the fruits of our labor in the pool, and we were talking in a more serious way about these vaccines, and people are like kidding. They just say things. They just like, oh well, look what Biden's talking about. He's setting up for wave 2 of the pandemic and lockdowns and all this stuff. It's like, no, we have to put our foot down. We have to say no. It's not going to happen. Could you imagine what even a year of lockdowns will do? 2 years of lockdowns moving forward? Oh, fuck, man. It's done, right? At that point, it's done. It is over. Game over, man. Monopoly, it's done. Yeah, I'm gonna just say that this is very self-indulgent of me. I just felt like if I didn't say these, because I wanted to do this for a couple days, just kind of rant like this F Biden, and like I said, this could easily be F Trump or F Obama or F Bush or whoever in the past, because anybody who's going to take that kind of money from me and then make my day-to-day harder, like there are things that I want to do in life. I only have so many days left on this earth, right? And there are things that my wife and I want to do, and we're putting our lives on a holding pattern right now. A holding pattern. At this age, I've worked all my fucking life, and now I'm on a holding pattern because I don't want to spend money. This is criminal. And there are people I have it, like, I don't have it bad, so I don't want to make it sound like, oh, poor me. It's just affecting me. This is how it's affecting me personally. There are people during the lockdown. There are people that lost businesses. There are families that had to sell their homes. There are families that had to move out of the state that they love. There's all kinds of sacrifices. There's all kinds of things that people had to shoulder the burden for. So Moderna, so Johnson & Johnson, so Pfizer could get rich. Don't even think that, now they're aiming these vaccines at children that weren't even at risk. By your own science, you were saying they weren't even at risk. Like, these are money-grubbing scum. These are people that do not care about ethics. They don't care about you. They don't care about anything. When you see that they've doubled their dollar amount during the lockdown and COVID, that's all you need. That's all the proof you need. Let's see what Sketch Therapy says. I don't like comics anymore, but I still like RT Bear and art in general. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Pedro, I hope everything's okay with your mom and everything. So prayers out to Pedro and his mom. She's not feeling well. So also, just to back up with COVID, I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. I'm not saying that it's not nasty. I'm not saying any of those things, but I don't think it's worth locking down the world. I think it's just a way of life. I'm not even saying that the vaccines don't help, although I'm going to boycott them. I got the first shot. I never followed it up because then it got absurd. Like, oh, you need a booster. You need this. You need that. You need all that shit. I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I believe in herd immunity. I believe in that. So I want to keep my immune system strong, and I don't want to rely on that shit. Let's see. American comics. Woodrow Wilson, with origin of the Federal Reserve and the income tax, was the beginning of what we see now, including the IRS, which came to be during the Civil War and magically found a way to stick around. Yeah. I mean, somehow the country was functioning without an IRS and all that for a while. So yeah. Wise Guys Entertainment says, I think Pelosi pisses everyone off. She's evil. She's absolutely evil. I don't know how anybody can't see through it. You know, they can't see that she, look at her state, like Northern California, all that. Like, look at the shape it's in. Just, it's in turmoil. Oh, I like that. The scamdemic worse. Yeah, well, there's a lot of people that made a shit ton of money during that. Also, the thing that pisses me off about Moderna and all this stuff is like taxes, and it was funded by the people. The people found the cure, and so then Pfizer and all these companies can profit off of it. You know, I know that we could get the COVID shots for free and all that other stuff, but is it really free? You know, our taxpayer dollars went into paying Pfizer and those guys all that money so that they could sell the vaccine back to us inadvertently through our government, but we still ended up paying for it. It's just bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. Hey Zaid. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna change the channel here real quick, and go on and show some stuff off and shine some light on a hardworking gentleman who pays his taxes, who believes in this country. Philip Diaz. So Philip Diaz has a campaign right now. Oh, my dog is just driving me crazy. I hope that's not too loud for you guys. Yeah, he's got the CG vacation campaign going right now. It's going strong. I think it's looking at closing up soon. But this is my entry to that book. So this is the black and white swimsuit piece. So the lovely lady there is Whitney Sung, aka White, the guy with the heavy firearms in the back that just destroyed that robot. With the help of Whitney Sung, is Reed Blackett, aka Black. You know what? Oh my gosh, I wish my wife's usually good at keeping him under control. I wish I had a door I could close, but maybe I'll just talk louder. So yeah, this is black and white, and this is one piece of the CG swimsuit, or sweet. Man, my dog's got me all flustered. The CG vacation comic. So yeah, go back that. If there's anybody in the chat that has a wrench, if you could post that link to the CG vacation campaign, that would be great. It's a great way to celebrate summer, you guys. Like I said, the Diaz brothers are awesome. There's all kinds of contributors. There's Graham Nolan. There's Aaron Lepresti. I think most of my professional brothers contributed. We have Del Keown, I think, did the wraparound cover. It's cool to see his version of black and white there on the cover, and just really cool stuff. Also, Philip has some fun like ads, like the Marvel swimsuit stuff where they would run ads and stuff in the magazine. He's going to do that as well. I don't want to step on it in case he hasn't mentioned anything, but there's some really fun stuff in there. And so, yeah, you guys go back that today. It looks fantastic. Graham Nolan's piece cracks me up. It's the Chenoo, and he's just kind of laying out there. He's just laying out there getting some sun. Oh, well, thank you, Past Master. Yeah, here is the CG vacation. Click the link and go back yourself a copy today. Oh man, we got Jose Garcia, just excellent, excellent artist. I love your animation style stuff. Absolutely gorgeous. A lot of Phil fans. Dogs driving, driving my dog. Oh shit, that's not cool. Sorry about that. Uh, that's so freaking good art. Thank you. And thank you, Jose. Do appreciate it. This is perfection. Hottie. Oh, you guys are too kind. Thank you. Cool. Even Pablo thinks it's cool. If Pablo thinks it's cool, then you know what? It's cool. Hey, thank you, Pedro, for the link as well. Yeah, really, really cool. There's another thing I wanted to cover, and this is kind of just fun stuff. There's a movie that we went out this past weekend to watch, my wife and I, and we saw the more videos. No, go away. It's the Minions, and so my daughter said, "Hey, oh, stop, go away." You know what? I think this is a better article. But anyways, this is I have another article here. Minions: Rise of Groot. Oh, I clicked the sound. You know what? I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go to this. You guys get the feeling. All right, go away. You piece of shit. Minions versus Lightyear. But anyways, just to set it up. My daughter was like, "You got to go see the Minions movie," and but she really wanted us to go see Bob's Burger because Bob's Burger is kind of a guilty T-Bear pleasure. We would watch it as a family, but also the Gru Minions movies when our daughter was young. So I am an animation guy. I like fun animation. So don't judge me too harshly. We're all big kids, right? So took the wife. We went to go see the Minions: Rise of Gru, and absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. We're also like Pixar fans and Toy Story fans, but when this Lightyear trailer came out, it looked way too serious. It looked like it was trying too hard, and that's before I even learned of the agenda. So I thought it was kind of a novel idea, but it looked like it was way too serious. You know what I mean? Like it was taking itself too seriously. It looked like it wasn't that much fun. And then when I learned that the voice wasn't Tim Allen, and then there was all the kind of same-sex kiss, stuff like that. And I just want to back up. I'm not a homophobe. I'm not a transphobe, even though people call me that. I just think there's a time and place for it. So as a parent and, remembering when our daughter was young, taking her to these things, I just want to have fun. I just want to have fun with my daughter. I don't want questions to come up. And, for a young mind seeing a same-sex kiss, there's going to be questions, right? So after the movie, you're going to have to answer all these questions that you weren't really willing to answer. You want to keep your children innocent as long as you can. It's harder and harder in this day and age, but that's what you try to do nonetheless, right? You try to shield them from all the cynicism and all the agenda and all that stuff. Well, Disney is now purposefully throwing this stuff into movies. And so, Lightyear was conscious of this. They did it. And this is Disney. This is a company that makes entertainment for children. And so they're putting a lot of parents in uncomfortable positions. Like I said, I have nothing against, gay people. I have nothing against LGBTQ. I don't care about any of this stuff. I don't overly go, yay, you go, I'm not cheering. I'm not waving the rainbow flag. I'm not doing any of that shit. But I don't do that for anybody anyways. The only flag I wave is the American flag. Everybody has to fight for their rights. Everybody has to fight for their voice, right? So they're on their own. You want whatever you want. Well, then you go scream, you go, yell it from the top of the mountain. But don't use children's platforms. Don't use innocence to sell an agenda. Don't do that. That is the lowest form of indoctrination. It's an easy target. It's bullshit. Just don't do it. And so the Minions, in contrast, I think 3 weeks later, it was just a fun movie. It was just a fun movie that Illuminations and Universal put together, and it didn't have agenda. It didn't have any of that stuff in it, and it was just a fun 2-hour adventure. That's it, man. And it was pretty nonstop. And if you like superhero adventure and stuff, there's like these super villains, and there's fun stuff in there. There's kind of a scene where there's kind of this ode to wacky racers, where there's like the villains' vehicles. Like as a kid, I liked all that wacky racer stuff. And so there's like all these cool vehicles and stuff that the villains use. I think as a young kid, I would have loved that stuff. But yeah, we went to the movie and we had a ball. We had a ball watching Minions. Both my wife and I didn't even want to go see Lightyear. And from what I hear, Lightyear isn't doing very well. And the Minions movie is. So Minions versus Lightyear, here's why. The silly yellow blobs beat Buzz at the box office in just 3 days. Universal and Illuminations, which is a great animation house, they get it right. Minions: The Rise of Gru tallied more than 107 million in domestic ticket sales. I heard that it was more like 125, 129 in the first 3 days. But whatever. And then it said, what's the date on this? July 5th. And then it says, domestically or globally, 200 million. So in 3 days, globally, it made $200 million. That is absolutely fantastic. I think they made their money back and then some. And it's got good word of mouth, all the stuff that you need. I think it set records for the 4th of July weekend. And then it says its rival Disney and Pixar's Lightyear has generated 105 million domestically, 105 million since its release 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. So 3 weeks, it didn't even make the money that the Minions Rise of Gru did in 3 days. So, and then it struggled to reach the 190 million worldwide. So this movie is tanking, you guys. It's dying. So why did Minions soar and Lightyear flop? It comes down to storytelling, target audience, box office, analysts say. So it comes down to storytelling. Just a fun story for kids to enjoy with their parents. Target audience. They knew who their audience was. They weren't trying to sell anything. They weren't trying to, be smarter than the fan base. They weren't bringing agenda to it. It's just a good, fun movie. So then it goes into more detail. Two blockbusters. Animated franchise went head-to-head at the box office this past weekend. One of them benefited from Buzz, and it wasn't Lightyear. That's good. In just 3 days, Universal and Illuminations Minions Rise of Gru. By the way, man, I took meetings with, what is his name, Coffin? Like two of those head guys at Illuminations in the day when I was trying to get Chrono Mechanics up and running as an animated cartoon. Those guys are absolutely fantastic, and they were interested. Just didn't happen. And so tallied more than 100, and I think it was more than that. It's rival Disney, so we already went over that. They are among the most popular and profitable franchises for their respective studios, having each ranked in billions of dollars in ticket sales over the last decade. So why did Minions soar over Lightyear? It comes down to storytelling. Okay, we already the relative soft response to Lightyear by audience and their unbridled excitement for Minions, the Rise of Gru, reflects many different factors, not the least of which is that the film are polar opposites in terms of their approach to deliver a story to the audience. Senior media, whatever, whoever, Paul, whatever. While Minions leaned heavily into slapstick comedy, which I am a big fan of, Three Stooges, all that stuff. So my wife loves it too. So those Minions crack us up. Comedy made last four installments in the Despicable Me franchise so successful, Lightyear shifted away from the formula that endeared so many generations to the Toy Story franchise, centering on emotional stories around beloved childhood toys. Minions: The Rise of Gru tells the villain's origin story of Gru, who as a child seeked to establish himself amongst the biggest, baddest bad guys in the world. Along the way, his gang of denim overall-wearing minions bungle his plans, resulting in a silly, gut-busting romp. I just want to say Chrono Mechanics was made before this stuff was made. So I think there's a lot of Chrono Mechanics aspects to this stuff. Slapstick comedy is a tried and true genre that kids of all ages have always loved. Lightyear, which was also billed as an origin story, is about the film that made Buzz Lightyear the hottest selling toy and a coveted prize for young Andy. I just want to back up there. There was like a Buzz Lightyear of Star Command cartoon, which was fantastic. You had already done this, Disney. You had already done this, Pixar. Why didn't you just like kind of use that as a template? Why did you have to go with this weird, like realistic CGI crap? I would have rather seen like some fun stylized stuff like one, like the original Toy Story, and two, like the animated cartoon, which was way better than anything that they're doing right now. This meta-style story might have been enticing to audience that grew up with Toy Story in the 90s, but for younger generations, the science fiction action adventure missed the mark. It didn't even appeal to me, and I liked those Toy Story movies. Minions was simply more accessible to audience, analysts say. What has Comicsgate said for the last 3-4 years? Yes, get this crap out of your movies, make it accessible to the widest range of audiences possible. Also got a surprise boost. This, I like this. A box office from teenagers who bought 15% of the movie's tickets during its opening weekend. Teenagers, only 6% of that important demographic bought Lightyear tickets, according to the data. A new trend on TikTok. You guys look this up. It's absolutely fun. Helped fuel Minion sales as groups of young moviegoers dressed in formal attire to attend showings of the new film. The Gentle Minions hashtag has more than 9 million views on TikTok and gained the attention of Universal Studios. To everyone showing up to Minions in suits, we see you and we love you, the company wrote in a tweet last Friday. Disney, where is the love? Where's the love? Look at this, man. I'm making a prediction right now. Universal Studios is going to kick Disney's ass in the next decade. Their parks are more innovative. Their amusement parks. They're building a new amusement park, which looks fantastic. That Harry Potter, I'm not even like a big Harry Potter person, but Universal's immersive Harry Potter parks are better than anything Disney's doing. Like Disney did the Star Wars, what was it, Galaxy's Edge thing. They made all these promises about it being immersive, all this stuff. It's not, man. It's just a weird marketplace with one kind of cool ride. It's not if you guys don't know what I'm talking about with the Harry Potter parks at Universal, just look them up. And they have interactive wands that interact with stuff in the land. There's just everything is interactive, everything's immersive, and it's all tied to canon. It all ties directly to the movies where Disney decided that they were better than the Star Wars franchise and decided to try to create their own BS. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to shine the light on the Minions movie. I am kind of happy that Lightyear isn't doing well. I do like the Disney stuff. I have since I was a little kid. I just think that the current regime, even Bob Iger, was bad for the brand, for the company, and I just think that what's happening in Disney is absolutely shameful. I think they're pissing all over what both those Disney brothers created. I think there is actual contempt for those guys within the company, and I think the only way they're going to get back to some kind of decency, is if they start taking a shot financially. So I'm kind of glad to hear stuff like this because I don't want that company to be continuing doing what they're doing with the agenda, selling weird stuff to kids, agenda driven stuff. It's just the lowest form. It's like what's the difference between you and a pedophile that's bought an ice cream truck and is going around and getting jollies off of, hanging out with children. I'm not even saying molesting children, just being around them. It's just weird. It's weird. It's twisted. It's not healthy. And I just think go back to making entertainment, just something that's actually entertaining. Leave the agenda stuff for movies that are for older people, like when somebody can actually understand these concepts, when somebody can understand what's in front of them. Even if a kid asked about same sex, there's no way they could really even understand it. They don't even really understand mom and dad. You know what I mean? Like they don't. And also, you guys that are all doing this agenda stuff, everybody eventually figures this stuff out. Everybody figures out what a transgender is, what what gay, lesbian. They figure out all this stuff. Even the twisted straight stuff they figure out over years. So we don't have to, thrust this upon them, at the age of 5, 7, 8, any of this stuff. They just don't, we don't have to do that. They'll learn it over time. And if you just teach your kids to be accepting, but not of everything, they don't have to accept everything, but just to be respectful, I think. Maybe respectful is more the word. Just be respectful. You don't have to like it. You don't have to approve of it. But as long as no one's getting hurt, as long as there's no crimes being committed, just be okay with it. Just let it happen. Yeah, you don't have to like it. Let's see. I like this. Have you seen Nintendo Land in Universal Japan? You can look it up. Yeah, I've seen it, and that's what they're building. They're building at the Universal Hollywood and Universal Florida. I think the Universal Florida is going to be, they have more rooms, so it's going to be bigger. But yeah, it looks fantastic. And the new park, the Universal Park is going to have Universal Monsters. So Universal Monsters is going to get its own land. They're doing a whole like How to Train Your Dragon area. Although I really liked the first How to Train Your Dragon. I thought the second one was also like Hollywood going a little too far. and if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, but How to Train Your Dragon 2, they bring Hiccup, I think is the character's name. They bring his mother into the story. She abandoned the kid. So, like instead of a deadbeat dad, it's a deadbeat mom. So keep in mind that the father is the one that raised his son. And in the first movie, they kind of have a problem, like the kid's becoming of age. So he's kind of questioning the dad. The dad's trying to figure out ways to connect to the son. And then by the end of the movie, they're able to do that. They find a middle ground. And so then the second movie, they bring a mom in. They show that she left the family because she didn't like that the husband, I think, had a mat on against the dragons. But the dad is the king, and he had to defend their village. These dragons were killing people. They were burning down the village and stuff like that. So he took it upon himself to use force to fight these things. And I guess she didn't like him, so she left. She chose hanging out with dragons versus her own flesh and blood and her village that was being destroyed by these dragons. So let's just say that's okay. It's not, but let's just go with the premise. Okay, so she comes back in the story. She comes back into Hiccup's life. The dad is he's still in love with his wife. He's so happy that she's back in their lives. So what happens is the kid's dragon, like it's a long story, but the kid's dragon ends up killing the father. He gets possessed. Something happens. He's not the dragon's not in his right mind and kills the dad, right? Why? Why did you do that? You had an opportunity to get this family back together. Why did you have to do this? For the sake of the mom? Like, the mom wasn't even in there. Why should she get rewarded to be with her son now? Why should she get that? She abandoned him. The guy that was there for the kid ends up paying for it with his life. He dies. And he dies by the kid's pet. The kid's pet, which is this dragon, kills the father. What the fuck, Hollywood? What the fuck? And on top of all of this, this was a Father's Day movie. This came out Father's Day weekend, DreamWorks. And my kid and my wife brought me to go see that movie. What the fuck? Anyway, it's a horrible movie. I still like the first movie. The park, the How to Train Your Dragon part of the park looks pretty cool. I'm just going to act like that second movie never existed, because the first movie is pretty good. But anyway, that's par for the course with exactly, man. I think it's going to be cool, the Universal Monsters thing. Let me share this. Wait. I got to do this first. Let me get rid of that. Go with this. Yeah, I may have showed this piece of artwork off, but I've done some alterations to it, and it looks way better. So this is a page from Black and White, and I think I'm really happy with the way this book is coming out. So yeah, this is kind of a heavy drama scene. So I don't want to explain too much. I don't want to give anything away, but yeah, I dig that second panel. That was a late entry on the page. Actually, both of those panels were. So I'm really kind of getting excited by doing these establishing shots or reestablishing. So like pulling the camera back, showing environments, things like that. So there's Brooks Gray, Black, White, and Uncle Yi. So a little emotion coming out of Whitney Sung there. Reed, aka Black, is saying something that is a little. It's something she doesn't want to hear right now. I don't want to give too much away. So they end up walking away from the partnership. It's like you're on your own kind of thing. And so then Uncle Yi, this is kind of the beginning of Uncle Yi kind of getting a spine, that he's actually starting to be a little bit more proactive. He was very, very scared. He was trying to keep his niece safe, trying to raise her the best he could. And so now he's starting to realize that playing it safe, keeping the family secrets, things like that from her was probably not the best way to play it. And so he's kind of making a stand here. You guys are going to have a lot of fun seeing how Uncle Yi shifts around and changes and steps up in the story. It's one of my favorite parts of the story is how Uncle Yi does these things. But there's a little bit of a redesign. There's redesigns with a lot of the characters, just like little subtle things. But I really like the way this is coming out. Yeah, it's fantastic. I do thank each and every one of you for giving me the opportunity to do this, to draw and write and create something that I have 100% love for. This is not a corporate mandate. This is beyond a paycheck. This is the high point. This is it, man. This is my swan song. So yeah, I just dig it, and I love how I can blow this stuff up really big, and it still holds up. The line work and everything. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, man. So let me go back. So I got to show off a little bit. Let me do something else. I would be shirking my responsibility if I didn't do this. So this is the campaign. It is still in demand. We still have a little ways to go with this. Working every day to get more pages done, to get closer to that finish line. This is volume 2, Man versus Machine. This will be the epic conclusion to the origin story. So thank you so much again for getting us to 108. 563. We are over halfway to 109. We are so close to 110. That'll be a great number once that flips over to that. There's all kinds of great tiers, you guys. Here's the main cover. Then we have this cool variant by Kenneth Rocafort. Black and white battling robots. Absolutely fantastic. We have the incredible Joe Bennett, another variant. And we have Pedro Eng and Von Klaus's High Octane, which is pretty much done. I think Pedro and I are putting the finishing touches on it as we speak. I think Pedro's working on it. And then it's off to the letterer and then off to the printer. So this book is really, really close to getting done. We have the second printing of volume 1 with the new cover, and then all these other fantastic things. We got the variant, a Greg Capullo cover. We have some artwork available here for you guys. We have all these stretch goals. So the link is in the description, you guys. You can click the link. You can come over if you like what you see. Back a book. Get a T-shirt if you've already backed a book. These are cool. They're wraparound T-shirts, and we have them in all different sizes. We have the Inko tee, which is absolutely fantastic. So Inko is the Hack Shack Studios. That's my studio, and he's got his slogan, "That's good ink," and that's really cool. So you could get a Inko T-shirt. So yeah, you guys, thank you so much. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate you guys just hanging out with me in the chat. I wish I could have read more of your comments, but I was kind of on a rant. I hope that was okay. I tried to be as fair as possible, but we really got to get that Biden cat out. And I think we as people that aren't happy with the way things are going and we are being affected, our pocketbooks, our way of life, all these things. I think we need to be more verbal about it. We need our voices heard. I'm really sick of how the world is racist, how apparently white guys are predisposed to racism and privilege and all of this shit. It's like, you guys, these are all distractions. These are all distractions. While this is happening, you are being taxed like crazy. Rights are being stripped away from you. Lockdowns, guns are being, rights are being taken away from you. Like, all of this stuff is happening. We really need to be more verbal about it and less frightened, because I think more people feel the way I do, and hopefully on some level you guys do as well. And maybe we can get things back to maybe the way things were a little bit before the lockdowns, before all that bullshit. We got Camel Moon in the house. Cool. We got RBI Studios. We got Angela Curry. We got AV8R. I'm just going to go through some new faces in the chat. We got Willie J. Draws. Oh, thank you so much. I dig it. I dig every freaking page that I'm working on. Nothing is going out until it's absolutely the best I can do. Yeah, Black and White, Man versus Machine, Volume 2 is going to be the best thing I can do to date. It's going to eclipse everything I've done in the past. And that's just the way it is. Every day I learn new stuff. I bring it into the work. I never compromise. Everything I think I'm doing great, I come back on and I realize I can plus this, I can plus that. So I'm always looking for ways to make a better product for you guys. Let me see. My privilege helps pay for others' welfare. I don't think I like being privileged. Yeah, I don't either. Not when you get taxed like crazy. And like I said about Nancy Pelosi, if you didn't hear, I think we should pull half of her funds back, half of her income away, since she's only representing half of the country. And if we do believe in taxation without representation, she's not representing half of the country. Therefore, she should only get half of the country's money to pay for her corrupt, evil ways. Let me see. Joe Bernardo says, I agree. We need a art appreciation day. Joe, you are so kind, and you are so supportive with not only things that I do, but all the stuff that the bros do, the kings do, CG in general. You are the best. CG is the best thing to happen to comics, you guys. Spread the word. If you could, before you leave, give me a big old thumbs up. It does help. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Tweet this out. Art's angry rant. Art tells Joe Biden to fuck himself. Oh my gosh, we live in a crazy ass world. But yeah, I think that CG is definitely helping. And I'm trying to get something going with the Daily Wire with Chrono Mechanics. So I'm just going to throw that out there. That would be absolutely fantastic if I can make that happen. So if you haven't heard, Daily Wire is doing more and more productions. And they just did the Gina Carano movie, which from what I hear is really, really good. And they're doing more Hollywood type productions. So that's going to be something to look at in the future. So if they get to control one aspect, I guess the answer is that we build our own platforms, we build our own companies, and we find our own audience, and that's it. I would rather things went back to the way they were, but if this is the way it has to be, then this is the way it has to be. Let me see what Andino says. Pelosi's been around longer than Art. Yeah, I got to get some work done. Actually, you know what? If my daughter said this, she goes, Art. She didn't say Art. She said, Dad. She said, you should dye your hair. You don't look that bad. And I'm like, well, thank you. And then I said, what color should I dye my hair? I know. I was setting her up for the joke. She goes, dye your hair blue. And I go, I'd rather dye. George Liquor says, I bought OG Black and White #1 the other day. Cool. I hope you like it. I'm telling you, like Volume 1, Volume 2, the new books, they are loosely. This is the new. We got some stuff done. So we have Volume 1, the second printing. We have these done. We have 2,500 of these in storage right now. But these are loosely based. Well, the first one is a little closer to the original miniseries. It's based on Volume 1, Volume 2. But it's way better. It's completely rewritten. There's new context. There's new pages. The artwork has all been redone. But Volume 2, hold on for a sec, is all uncharted territory. And it's like I said, it's real loosely based on the first three books that came out in '94, but at the same time, it's completely different. It's a complete reimagining of the entire story. So all I can say is if you like the 94 book, you're really, really going to like this. And if you haven't backed it, please do so, because I think it'll be fun to kind of compare the two and just to see where I was in 94 versus where I am right now. So let me see this. Red Sands of Mars. Thanks for all the work you've done. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you for supporting all the work I've done. Comics were a big part of my life, and a lot of those have your name on them. Wow. Right here, brother. You're touching the heartstrings. Yes, Hell CG is a community. Fuck yeah. I'll use fuck in a positive way. Fuck yeah, CG. Hell yeah. The Wrath of T-Bear coming soon. Yeah, you guys. Please, get this stuff out there. Help everybody in CG. It's not just like helping. You're going to get good books, man. It's not just like charity. These are like top-notch talents. A lot of people, like I feel like myself, I've been doing this for almost 40 years, but I still feel like there's untapped, potential here, and that CG is giving me the opportunity to be able to do that in a way that I couldn't at Marvel and DC. CG is a ball pit. Jump in. Rub your balls all over me, baby. No. Maybe past Master Dan has had too much to drink this early in the morning. It's not morning anymore. Let's see. America Comics says they vote for their own pay and increases. Yeah, that's bullshit. First, you need people that respect and know what honor is to what is that? I can't say that word. Applenant to their oath and oath to and the Constitution itself. Yeah, I just think that these people really need to be reminded of who they work for. And I guess, like, if I had to nutshell, and sum up everything that I'm talking about, is that just remind them that they work for us. Yeah, the blue hair isn't going to happen. Wait a minute. I dyed my hair once. I had stains on my sideburns. I don't know what that means. It just sounds funny. Art, I see you can dye your hair. It looks like it's backing your book, black and white. LOL. Oh. Yeah, there's a little black and white in my hair. Art, before you go, check your Twitter. Let me see. So are these messages or is this notifications? What specifically do you want me to check on my Twitter? Do you want me to check message, notifications? Oh shit! It came right up in notifications. Oh my gosh! I got to show this off. Oh fuck! Oh shit! Yes. Yeah, you guys don't forget. There's this trading card competition. So send me this stuff. Let's show RBI's fantastic work. Let me see. Where are we? Yeah. Look at this. Wow. Very cool. Very stylized. I dig it. I dig it. Look at that. Wow. Thank you so much. Look at this thing. It's fantastic. Can't wait to show Pamela when we're done here. Oh my gosh, the utility belts look great. The weapons. I like the more lightsaber hilt. That's actually not a bad design. I may incorporate it. Yeah, this is fantastic. So that's RBI Studios. Super. Wait, you know what? I need to go back. I need to make sure I share this on my done and done. I gotta like it too. Let me see. Oh, I did. Okay, cool. Fantastic, man. You guys are the best. Kevin Thompson, will you be releasing any more pages for the campaign? I could. The one I showed, I don't know if I've already released that. I have a few more that I could put up there, Kevin, if you're interested. Also, if you're interested, I have the CG swimsuit piece. Maybe I could make that available on the campaign as well. So I'll talk to Pamela about that, see if we can do something in the next couple days. So thank you, Kevin. Hey, Kevin, did you see this? Let me see if I can find it real quick. It might take me a minute or two. I know I saved it somewhere. Kevin is a Juju fan, and Juju was a character that was in the first issue of the ongoing series. I think it came out in '95. Let me see. Is this it? Let me see. I hope this. Son of a. I think I labeled it. And I think I labeled it for Kevin. Let me see. I'm going alphabetical. There it is. Boom. I found it. Let me see. I'll come back to this. So I went through a bunch of old. I could actually do a black and white sketchbook easily. I have so many drawings of unused stuff. So this was a redesign of the Juju character, Kevin. So I know you liked the version that was in the comic book, but I wanted to make her more kind of horror based since she kind of raises the dead. So what I'm thinking is when she's using her powers and her abilities, she'll look more like this. And then and her bodysuit is going to be like all kinds of like tribal tattoos and stuff like that all over it. You can kind of see the neck where I started, and so she raises the dead, and then she controls the she controls them. They're zombies, but she can control them. Like she gives them her brain capacity. So they're not just mindless. They are, but she can control them and get them to do things she wants. So yeah, this is just a little teaser of where we're going to go with also the next story arc. The next story arc is going to have this character featured. So yeah, this is Juju, and just a fun character. And I think what we're going to do is, the version that's in the comic book, that'll probably be what she looks like when she hasn't transformed into this version. So she'll be like this really hot looking a mixed race woman, and she'll have the cool hair and everything. So I gave this one a little bit of the Cruella de Vil, so she'll have like these black streaks in the hair. I think this came out pretty cool. So, Kevin, you always bring out the best in me, man. So yeah, it's a little teaser of where we're gonna go. She's Nancy Pelosi. I think she's prettier than Nancy Pelosi. Oh, cool. Yeah, just let me know too with the commission which version you want me to draw, because I'll do whatever you want. I can do the 95 version that's in the comic book, or I could do that version. So just let me know. Oh, because I just want to do this to Andy. Oh, nibblage. Oh, stop. Come on. It's Juju. Nancy is more evil. Indeed. All right, you guys, man, you can tell like the sun is changing because the light in here is going from bright to dark. So we're getting a little bit of overcast. It might rain. That'd be great if it rained today. We need it. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for all the backing, all the support. And you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks for supporting CG, and we'll see you soon. Take care.